Welcome back to another episode. I am here with Dr. Jordan Graeme. I'm excited to hear more about her story, but we actually went to the same chiropractic school, her and her awesome husband, and how we kind of came full circle again was she came in to x-ray her helmet, which I thought that was kind of a weird thing, but that's one way you can find out if your helmet's cracked. So she rides horses, and that's how that happened. But she was the alumni of the year at University of Western States in 2017, and a big part of that was she was a chiropractor at OHSU, which is one of the prominent hospitals here in Portland. And being a chiro at a major hospital is not a super common thing. So I'm excited to pick her brain about that. And she's also going to share about her personal journey, some things, some struggles she's gone through. We all have, adversity that hits and how she handled that. And she's writing a book about a lot of this, of just reinventing herself. She'll talk about why she doesn't have hair on her head. Talk about her book that she's writing and just other struggles she's been through, which I think a lot of people are going to relate to. So, Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah, awesome. I thought that was kind of funny when Ty texted me, "Hey, can we x-ray a helmet?" I'm like, I've never done that, but we can try.
I took a good fall off my horse.
That was a big fall, but thanks for coming on, and I'm excited to hear more about your story and your background. But just to kind of open it up, can you talk about your background a little bit, where you grew up, your family, and how you became a chiropractor?
Oh, I always say I fell into being a chiropractor.
I think we all do.
So I grew up in Oregon.
Okay.
Until the 7th grade, I grew up in Madras, Oregon.
Okay.
Just north of Bend.
Small town girl.
Yeah. I remember when the first stoplight went in there, it was a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little bigger now, but and then from 7th through 12th grade, I went to a even smaller town of Klickitat, Washington.
Okay.
So big metropolis of 400 people.
Wow. Okay.
So definitely a small town girl, and the teachers I had in Klickitat were the same teachers that taught my mom and my dad in school, and my grandparents went to school there on both sides. So a lot of things that you hate growing up about everybody knows everybody, and,
right?
Going to the principal's office because I'm acting like my dad. That did happen. You're acting like your dad. Go to the principal's office.
That's hilarious.
But a lot of things, growing up, you take for granted. I really do miss about growing up in a small town.
Yeah.
And we have to do those 5-year plans to graduate, and I kind of did a little, what do you call it, job shadowing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what a chiropractor was in high school.
Okay.
I just job shadowed a physical therapist. I did some job shadowing of surgeries and stuff.
Yeah.
And was, I could be a physical therapist. Well, I could probably do that. And I thought maybe going more the athletic trainer route, PT, being more of like a sports med kind of staffer.
Yeah.
Was kind of like what I initially envisioned.
Okay.
And I had a full ride scholarship to throw javelin in college.
Okay.
So I threw javelin.
Where was that? What school?
Eastern Washington.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Cheney.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And so fast forward, I did 5 years. So I took a redshirt year.
Okay.
So I never know what to call it. If it's my second junior or my first senior year, I don't know.
Sure.
But I ended up having shoulder surgery. So I was spending 3 days a week in physical therapy. And I had a wonderful physical therapist. I loved him.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know if I could do it.
Okay. It's a blessing in disguise.
This is, I don't know. This is probably not for me.
Okay.
Which was what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go to school, not know what I want to do, and end up with a degree I couldn't use. That was like my biggest fear of going to school. And he wasn't my husband then, but a good friend of mine, Ty. He graduated ahead of me. He was a senior when I was a freshman.
Okay.
And he had called and he was like, how's surgery recovery going? Are you going to throw in the spring? Like just shooting the shit with me about, incoming freshmen. How does this team look? And he's like, well, how's school? I'm like, dude, I'm freaking out about school. Like I've spent all this time to be a physical therapist. I don't want to be a physical therapist. Like this is truly freaking me out. Like, what am I going to do with a biology degree? Like, I can't be a teacher. I'm going to be the world's worst teacher. And he's like, well, what about chiropractic? And I'm like, nah, buddy, I'm good.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you know what they do? And I was like, don't know, don't care.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm in chiropractic school now. I know you. Maybe it's something you should look into me.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, you're full of shit.
I didn't know Ty was the inspiration here.
We won't give him too much credit.
Okay.
But his head's big enough as it is. But I was just like, no. And he's like, well, how about this? You look into it. I'll call you in a few weeks. Shit, he's going to call me. I'm the world's worst liar. So I'll look into it. I'll cross it off my list.
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Yeah.
So I think the next day I was at my physical therapist and we were talking about it. I was like, yeah, my buddy says I should be a chiropractor. He's like, actually, if you want to be a chiropractor, I know a great chiropractor. She's the chiropractor for Gonzaga University Athletics, and she's out in Spokane Valley. I think, you being an athlete, I think it might be something right up your alley. Another crazy guy talking to me about what I should do. And so I called Kelly and was like, hey, I don't know what you do. I don't know what your education is. I talked to my advisor. I need extracurricular. He said, if I do an internship to try to figure out what I want to do with my life, that I can get 5 extracurricular credits. And so I spent a summer with her and I was like, I could do this.
That's cool.
This seems, and I got a wide variety from working with her. I got athletes to referrals from the hospital there in Rockwood. And
that's cool.
I was like, all right. So I applied and got into school and
that's
the rest
awesome.
is history.
Yeah, that's great. So it's a little bit of that shadowing experience. And it sounds like that doc kind of worked with some docs at the hospital. Is that sort of what formed in your mind where you wanted to go with your career? Because I know you just wrapped up, 9 years basically at OHSU, the major
I was
hospital
just
here.
Shy of 10 years, like a month shy, like 28 days shy of 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Kelly was, and her husband Dana have a very beautiful practice out in Spokane Valley, and they were not much of integrative in-house, but they have a great referral system as far as working collaboratively with whether it's the sports docs or physical therapist or primary care physicians.
Yeah.
So I got to see a lot of that like collaboration
that's
firsthand, which I think definitely laid the foundation of how I wanted to practice.
Yeah. So tell us about that. I mean, I'm real curious myself, and for the audience, how was that almost 10 years at OHSU and working side by side with pain specialists, and I imagine, MDs, DOs, nurse practitioners, and
all of it.
A lot of chiros, they open up their practice and they're just kind of solo and they're not exposed to that world. Yeah. So, can you share with us what that experience was like?
So I started at OHSU 2015. So I had only graduated in 2012. So I was going into it very naive, I guess. And it was a very steep learning curve, not necessarily just as far as collaboration goes, but just the patient population too. I'm in the pain center, so dealing with a lot of chronic pain.
Yeah.
And looking back at school, like we have a great education, but I don't think I got a whole lot of experience with chronic pain patients. So it was a lot of like, how do
that was
I
like your
navigate
residency
these?
almost. And it was like a residency, like post grad.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I loved our clinic. Our clinic was great.
How many docs were in there, or like the team?
When I started at OHSU, our pain center, let's see, we had like 3.5 like pain physicians.
Okay.
We had a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
And 3 pain psychologists.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And when at the end of my tenure there, I guess we had 2 chiropractors, a naturopath, 3 acupuncturists, 3 massage therapists,
Wow.
2 rolfers.
Wow.
And I think like 6 or 7 pain psychologists. And I said
Wow.
naturopath, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
that is
it
integrative.
definitely
All under one roof.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you know, the head of our department that was initially kind of the spearhead of, I want this pain center to be integrative. He, you know, it was his vision.
I see.
He
led
was
the
just kind of
charge.
throwing us in there.
Yeah.
And everybody else around them was just like, what do we do with these integrative medicine providers? But
Okay.
you know, that was, you know, I hope they learned something from me, and I learned a lot from them.
Yeah. What are some of those gems that you learned from them, or how, you know, maybe other chiros can kind of integrate? And
you know, I've the way I see integrating in those kind of sessions is that you have to be a sponge.
Okay.
Like, and you can't go in there like, in my experience, like I can't speak for everybody. Like my experience is the more collaborative we can be, and the more we speak each other's language, the better off we're going to be, not only for ourselves and our practice, but for our patients.
Right.
And so that's kind of, I spent a lot of time just trying to build relationships with those doctors and not even talk chiropractic care.
Right.
You know, because you do have to change minds. And if you're going to go in there saying, this is how awesome chiropractic is, this is how awesome X, Y, and Z is, you're going to have a little
I'm all
bit
that in a bag of chips. And
yeah.
Because I know, didn't you tell me that you got a little flack from other chiros? Like, why would you do that? Because there are some chiros that are like, MDs are the worst, or DOs. And it's, you know, that was an old era, I think, in sort of our generation, is not realizing, but just, hey, yeah, of course, there's certain things we can't handle. We need each other's help. Let's work together to help this patient get better.
Yeah, I felt like for a while there, especially the first couple of years, that I was I felt like I didn't quite belong anywhere.
Okay.
Like, you know, I'm sitting at this hospital where I'm, you know, the only integrative provider for a while, you know, and trying to navigate those waters. And then like I have chiropractors saying that I shouldn't be there, that it's kind of anti-chiropractic to be associated with allopathic medicine. And, or, you know, that I can't relate to the normal chiropractor because of my unicorn status. You know, like, hey, I'm just trying to do a good job.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I was trying to do. But I think one of my favorite things that I feel I accomplished. A little nervous, sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, this is great, getting it out and talking. And
because being just being a young chiropractor in general, I'm probably not having the most clinical experience, and then being put into that position, like I was like, I know nothing.
Okay, that's how you kind of felt.
And one of the doctors that I work with, he's one of my best. Like, I love him dearly, and you know, he intimidated me.
Okay.
He 9 times out of 10 that he walks into the room, he's the smartest guy in the room.
Okay.
And that's intimidating.
Yeah.
Especially for someone that's just graduated. And I'm like, I know nothing. And this guy is so smart. And, you know, and so I wouldn't say much because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I just kind of got over myself. He's like, you know what, Jordan, quit thinking about X, Y, and Z, or what you do or don't know. Just try to be his friend.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I started. And I just started talking to him like, hey, how's your day? Like, what are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to run a 5K this weekend. I was like, dude, I can't run a 5K. Like, I can barely run 10 feet.
Yeah.
He's like, you did track in college. I was like, no. I did field in
Yeah.
college. I ran 13 steps and half of it sideways. Like I don't run. And then, finding out we're into the same nerdy stuff, Star Trek and like all those things. And our clinic grew. So we went from one floor to a bigger clinic. And he requested to sit next to me.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That his cubicle was next to me.
There you go.
And, our head of our department come and it's like, well, we're going to add Rolfing to the clinic now.
Okay.
And this doctor was, Rolfing.
Yeah. What's that?
What the hell is Rolfing? What are we going to add next? Crystal healers, shamans. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. That is funny.
I think you need to be able to laugh at yourself.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Well, sometimes providers take themselves too serious.
Exactly.
And the more humble you are and transparent, the more it draws people in.
100%. The more authentic you can be, the better, right?
Yeah.
And he came up to me afterwards and he's like, I hope I didn't offend you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, offend me? I'm like, no, I thought it was funny. He's like, I didn't want to offend you because you're one of my favorite people to work with.
Oh, that's awesome.
So from somebody that didn't know what to deal with me, didn't think I should be there, didn't know how chiropractic was going to integrate to being one of his favorite people to work with, to him being my number one referral source.
That's cool.
I think that's my biggest accomplishment there.
That is awesome.
And then when we got laid off, he was like, how are we going to treat these patients now?
Really?
Like that just mind shift, even if it's just one doctor, I think that's huge.
Yeah. So he went from, who are these quacks? Why do we, to, oh my gosh, our chiros are gone because they shut that department down to kind of fast forward.
Yep.
That was this year or last year?
Well, technically this year.
Okay.
So last August of 2024, they said we're eliminating.
And it was mostly budgets or new leadership or
new leadership.
Okay. They just said, no, we don't need this.
I saw it coming. I was kind of told I was a negative Nancy, but I was like, you got new leadership up on the hill. Like, they're just going to look, they say they're going to do budget cuts and they're just going to look at numbers. They're just going to say, okay, I don't know what these people do. I don't know how they fit into our setting. So I'm just going to, get rid of them. Yeah. And essentially that's what they did.
I see. Got it.
So
I mean, it sounds like, just to summarize, maybe one of the biggest things is, being open to those relationships. And even if you think someone's maybe not going to work well with you, to just develop those relationships, communicate.
Yeah,
and
I think a lot of times we get in our own head about things, right? We project our
fears
exactly onto what that person might think of us before we even get that chance to like communicate or open up with them.
Realizing that, I mean, some people are like, I haven't told my doctor I'm seeing you. And I'm like, well, a lot of docs these days are, I mean, I have MDs that refer, hey, go see. So, more and more as time goes on and, chiros are getting better. There's more integration in clinics like that. Yeah. I think more and more just the fear of the unknown and what do chiros do, or
I mean,
the more integrative it's becoming.
Yeah. I mean, like Rush Orthopedics in Chicago is a great example. Like they have the number 3 orthopedic department in the US. And they have a chiropractor on staff that just rocks it.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Their surgeons are like, go see Tom first. Yeah. And then, Tom does, hey, can we fix this? Can we, find a directional preference? If not, then it is surgical. And because, the surgeons, they don't want to be bombarded with,
cases that aren't truly surgical.
Exactly. They want to be teed up and like, oh yeah, ready to go. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of patients, they want to avoid surgery at all costs. So what options do I have? So
then you got Duke that's got a huge growing integrative department. I can't remember how many DCs they have on staff
they have
now.
DCs,
Dartmouth and
I know is it University of Pittsburgh that started a PT
starting this fall, I think, is their first new class.
One of our docs' girlfriends works with Sharish, who is a professor, and he works. He's one of the department staff there getting that program going. So,
because he's a big part of their primary spine practitioner program, and he's helping develop their curriculum.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That's awesome. I didn't know they had the rolfers in there and the acupuncturists, NDs. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Any other big key highlights, takeaways, or I think it's good for patients to hear that, like, oh, wow, okay, I didn't even know chiros were working hand in hand with MDs and,
and
even
truly like hand in hand. Like there's been times where we're in the same room with a patient. Like Dr. Maurer will pull me in, be like, hey, this is my patient. We're working on this. Is there something that you could help with? And be like,
That's cool.
We could help with this, or trigger point palpitation. Like, hey, Kim, can you inject that? That thing's huge. Or having monthly meetings where we're all like looking at complex cases and having, multiple different eyes on a case.
That's cool.
Sitting there communicating with each other about, hey, this is what I could do. This is what I see. How would you do that? Or like I said, I sat next to the smartest guy in the hospital. So like, and him learning how he reads imaging was
totally different.
Fascinating. Like every time he pulled up an image, I'm like,
what do I see here?
Tell me. So
that's awesome.
I loved it. I loved our team.
So, now I think it feels like you're hitting a new chapter, maybe pun intended here, in your chiropractic journey. So are you in private practice now? Like, where's your chiropractic career at now?
So we got laid off in August, and they didn't lay us off right away. They wanted us to work through the new year. So I worked until I think my last day was January 3rd of 2025.
Still pretty fresh.
So I kind of needed a little break just to,
figure out.
I was probably a bit burnt out as well, like with everything. And so I just took a break to I went and I worked at Lululemon for a while, like just to like have something completely different. To like, I could go to work, I could do a job, I could I could mingle with people, but not necessarily like have to like be mentally fatigued about it.
Dr. Brain on.
But my husband has his own private practice, and so I am working with him now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's great. That's awesome.
So currently just 1 day a week. But
that's great.
Start somewhere.
You get design your life the way you want,
Exactly. It's definitely a learning curve to be in private practice, because I have to admit, I've been spoiled.
Okay. All right.
I've been spoiled with
someone doing
having
the
IT support and answering the phones and all of that jazz. Not to say we don't have someone that helps with answering the phones and billing, but
it's not for the faint of heart owning your own practice. Like there's some days where IT staff's like, hey, my computer's not working. I'm like, I'm part chiro, part HR, part marketing, part IT. You got to know a little about everything.
Just learning a new system too, like learning chiro touch. Like I know you guys say it's easy, but like
there's a lot of moving parts there.
I'm just like, I've been on Epic for 10 years. So like I finally got used to my template, like used to doing things one way, and now I have to learn something completely different. So it's good.
It's different.
It's different.
So if you're okay with it, tell us a little bit about you're writing a book, right? You're working on a book. And I know some of the key elements are, some relationship things that you've gone through, your hair loss. So if you don't mind talking about that. And then kind of hitting 40, reinventing yourself. But I think why this can be important to some patients is like, a lot of outside stressors, I feel like impact, people's health and well-being and 100%. Their mental status. And, I think we've all been through, the dumps, and we've gone up and down in our own heads, and there's things that are impacting, like sometimes I'll just feel someone's spine. I'm like, are you stressed? They're like, how did you know? I'm like, this is just unusual for what you have, and it's, stress, or it's a relationship problem. And, I just had a patient open up about an abusive relationship she just got out of. And she's like, wow, thank you for talking to me, like letting me talk about it. And so, there's all these outside things that impact our lives that maybe, people don't have the time to talk about or get it out there.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people will, maybe relate to some of the things you've gone through. But can you talk about this next chapter in your life and some of those topics?
Well, in regards to patients, like, and perhaps it's my experience being in a pain center dealing more with chronic issues. I always tell patients that the definition of pain, right, is an emotional and physical response to a stimuli. So you can only get so much improvement with addressing the physical. You have to address the mental, because whatever we feel, anxiety, stress, it can manifest physically. And
if they had 6 pain psychologists in there, like that's how much weight they put on the mental side.
Yeah, it's a huge side, and it doesn't mean that your pain is in your head. There is definitely a physical painful stimuli, but if you don't ever address what is also compounding that issue, we only can get better so far. And so with this new chapter, like, I don't suffer from chronic pain or anything, but like when I got laid off, it was just what I've spent 10 years building something for somebody else. So to me, it was like a complete loss of my career. Like, do I start over? Do I do something completely different? And and of course we all have our little voice in the back of our heads says, oh, you can't do it again. You can't, be in private practice. Or, I had multiple interviews with Dartmouth. So, I mean, there was that.
Okay.
I think I made top 3, which I thought was a huge honor. But then, I'm thinking, like, is that what I really want to do? Do I really want to do that again? And I didn't know. And that's probably why I didn't get the job. Not that I didn't want it, but there's that part of me, like, is that truly what will bring you joy? And so I just have done a lot of journaling and meditating. And then the new year hit, and I have this, group text with a bunch of girlfriends, and they're like, instead of doing a New Year's resolution, let's pick a New Year's word. I was like, oh, I like that. That's good. And then I was like, reinvention. That's my word of the year.
That's awesome.
Because I just lost my career, that I thought I would retire from. And now I'm trying to figure out, what this is. And so just doing my daily meditations and journaling and my gratitude, and this thing kept coming back to me, like, write a book. And I'm like, that's silly, write a book. And it's something like when I was a child, like, I thought about, because if you ask my mom, like, what my dream job was when I was little, it was to be a librarian and write books.
Wow. Okay. Coming full circle.
And then, but as I get into my career, I hate scientific literature. I don't, that's not my kind of writing. But then you feel like, oh, I'm in the health field. That's the kind of writing I need to do. So, and then I talked to a friend who published their book, and he's like, you got a story here, Jordan. Like, here's the steps I took to do it. You can't ignore that. And just like my word of reinvention, like, thinking back, like, I don't know about you, but growing up, you think, oh, people have a midlife crisis, and that's it. Like, they get to midlife, they have this crisis, and then they move on, whatever that may be. And I'm like, no, we have these moments multiple times throughout our life, and moments where we think this is just rock bottom when it's not. It's just the foundation, right?
Yeah.
It's a chance to build and to pivot and
Yeah.
grow from that. And so just looking back, in my 20s, I was married. I had a first marriage that was very rocky and both emotionally and physically abusive. And, you carry a lot of shame from that, especially as growing up as women. You think you're always told, why would a woman stay in that kind of relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, they're weak. They're dumb. Why would they continue to be in a place where they're hurt on a daily basis?
Yeah.
And it's not that. Like, you carry a lot of shame and embarrassment and like you're made to feel that you're worthless and that you can't leave, that you can't do anything by yourself. And so leaving that and building like, no, I can do things by myself. I can.
Yeah. That can leave scars for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry you went through that.
So that would be part one in my journey of, growing out of that and learning and becoming a professional out of that. And then, so that was my 20s. So that would be part one of my book. I'm
going to ask someone to bring a few tissues if that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have tissues in here. No, this is great.
And then part two, entering my 30s, I'm starting a new career at OHSU. I'm now married to my best friend and we have fertility issues, which people don't talk about either. Like 1 in 4 women have fertility issues, which
way
is
more common than
it's way more common. And so we struggled with that for a few years, and I have very unique anatomy. I remember learning in, was it Dr. Borman's class?
Yeah.
In
Embryology.
Human development, him talking about, so I had uterine didelphys. So I had 2 complete separate uteri and cervices. And I remember sitting in class and learning about that and him being like, you'll never see this in practice.
Wow.
It's rare. You just need to know it for the boards.
That's crazy.
And so when I found out that's what I have, and that's because 20% of women that have that apparently just have primary infertility. So, and then I had a great perinatalogist and a great fertility specialist, and they're like, well, we can do it. It's just going to be very stressful for you. Your risk factors for preterm labor or miscarriage are 50-50. Wow. And so my husband and I just decided that that's not numbers we want to play with. We'll be the fun aunt uncles and have horses and animals. And we'll continue about that path. And then went on vacation and came back with a souvenir.
Serious. Wow.
Without fertility drugs or anything. So
wow. And the pregnancy went okay.
She was 3 weeks early. But besides just the stress of it being classified as a high-risk pregnancy, went well.
Wow, that's a miracle right there.
No NICU time or anything.
Wow. Now, how old is your daughter?
She'll be 6 in September.
6. Wow. Yeah. What's her name?
Madigan.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's a miracle right there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some staff here that have gone through some infertility stuff, and I know there's women that have had miscarriages, and it's rough. It can be brutal.
It can take a toll on you mentally. Like you feel like you're letting your partner down, right? Like, oh, it's my fault that I can't be a good wife or give him children. Like, not that he ever said that to me.
Sure.
Just like that's what you feel, right?
That's what you put on yourself.
And so then about 4 or 5 months postpartum is when I started losing my hair. So I've had alopecia my whole life.
Okay.
It's an autoimmune issue. So I believe my mom said I started getting bald spots when I was like 3 or 4. She just thought I was, doing my hair too tightly or, barrettes were rubbing or something. So that's what she assumed was happening, and they would come and then they would go, I remember having like a bald spot in the 7th grade that was kind of like right here in my hairline.
Hang on.
So that's kind of the last big spot I remember as like a spot. And then as a senior in high school, I lost all the hair around, like, was the crown of your head, I guess.
Really?
Probably just, because stress plays a huge role,
Yeah.
like being a senior and where do I go to college? What do I do for the rest of my life? And all of that jazz.
Yeah.
I lost arm hair and leg hair as well, but I'm not going to complain about that.
That's the one benefit.
There are positives,
Yeah.
right?
But how was that being, I mean, high school, that's a like brutal crowd, and your appearance is such a big thing.
I guess I have just unique experiences, I guess, because I definitely, a lot of people in the alopecia community are bullied, but I don't ever recall being bullied.
Oh, that's amazing.
But benefits of a small school, though,
Sure.
too. I mean, I graduated with 11 other students.
Yeah.
So we're together from the time we're in seventh grade to the time we graduate, and so they were just all I had a very supportive community.
Yeah, that's good.
Even the photographers that are for the Golden Dale Sentinel are like, I love the haircut, Jordan. I'm like, it's not a haircut.
Yeah.
I never felt bullied or anything like that.
That's great.
Was I self-conscious about it as a senior in high school? Definitely.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have long, beautiful, thick hair.
Sure.
That would be the goal.
Sure.
But I did steroid injections, I did topicals, I did nutrition, I did supplements, I did everything. And eventually my hair grew back.
It did. Okay.
And then I didn't have a problem until 4 or 5 months postpartum, which your hair gets really thick anyway during pregnancy.
Okay.
And then 4 or 5 months postpartum, you kind of shed all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine just continued to go. And I looked at my husband. I said, I ain't fighting this time. Like, grab your clippers.
Wow.
And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, just shave it.
Wow.
And he shaved it and it hasn't grown back.
Wow.
But I've lost all my hair. So I don't have eyebrows. I don't have eyelashes.
And it never grew back.
Never grew back. I know.
Well, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Either way. I met you in school when I think you had mostly all your hair, right?
At our wedding, like my hair was clear down to my hips. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So I had a lot of hair when I have hair.
How does it feel now? Just day to day, not having hair? Like we were talking before we got on, like some people just assume you've had cancer. You're going through cancer. A lot of people
assume I'm sick. And I lost it, postpartum. So like Madigan was born in 2019. I came back to work in January 2020, and then I was sent home in March 17th of 2020 for COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back to work, people were concerned that I was sick, and I had patients like tell me like, I don't want to come in, I don't want to expose you to anything. Like you're immunocompromised.
And you're like, no.
And I'm like, oh, I really appreciate that sentiment, but I'm not sick. I just don't have any hair.
Wow. But going through this, I mean, how common is alopecia and how?
I don't know how uncommon or common it is. I mean, I do volunteer with the National Alopecia Areata Foundation as the Oregon Regional Support Group leader.
That's cool.
And I know there's handfuls of Oregonians that suffer from it. But one of my funniest stories that I had a patient see me when I was like 2 weeks before I had the baby.
Okay.
And I have brown hair. I'm 200 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he didn't see me until after COVID. And
probably didn't even recognize
after a patient had said that they were worried about me, I did wear a wig to work a lot.
Oh, okay.
And it was blonde. Because I was like, oh, I've never been blonde before. I want to be blonde.
Okay.
And he came in, he saw me, the treatment went well, the visit went well. He goes up to the front desk just angry. And so they call me at the desk. They're like, patient's angry that the doctor didn't see him today. And I was like, what are you talking about? I just saw him. And
No way.
they said, hey, Dr. Graeme said she just saw you. And he goes, that woman is too blonde and too skinny to be my doctor.
No way. That is hilarious. He didn't even recognize
He didn't
you.
even recognize me.
Wow.
I was like, well, did you not realize I was pregnant?
Right.
But
wow.
But yeah, losing my hair, it was like, to me, it's just hair. Like,
Okay.
if not to say that it doesn't bother me from time to time, because
Sure.
I miss like being able to braid it or throw it up in a ponytail or, you know, have hair without feeling like I'm, you know, uncomfortable. Like, not all my wigs are uncomfortable, but like sometimes it's just uncomfortable to wear a wig.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's a lot of things I miss, and sometimes I forget that I don't have hair, and I'll like see myself in
doing
the
your thing, and
mirror. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have hair.
Huh.
But the how do I carry myself professionally was a hard part. Like to me, like not having, you know, you get ready, you look professional, you do your hair, right? Like that's part of my professional persona. But then when you don't do it, like it just, I almost didn't feel professional if I didn't have hair for a while.
I get that. Yeah.
And redefining how you feel as a woman too it can be difficult because, you know, people don't always look at your face.
Sure.
They just see your head and you know. So there's things, but for the most part, like,
you just have been, all right, this is the
me.
way it is. I'm going to carry on.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my thing, not let it get me down.
Exactly.
Not
You
affect
got to
me.
be who you are.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not like I said before we started this, like I like to wear wigs. Sometimes I feel spicy and I want a short black bob. Sometimes I feel like, you know, beach Barbie and
that's a
long blonde waves,
right?
you know. You can be a chameleon in that way. And but also I want to show people that you could just be who you are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
I think people have a hard time just accepting this is me.
Yeah.
You know, and not fighting.
Exactly. Like
the way you
spending
are.
So much stress trying to fight who you are. Like just let all the weirdness out.
So everyone's so hard on themselves, whether it's
we're our own worst critics,
you know, whether it's weight or we were just talking about how our voices sound, and everyone's always like, oh, I hate listening to myself. And then we're like, what? Only I sound weird. No one else sounds weird on audio, you know, but it's kind of human nature to be that way.
We all have those thoughts.
But if you can, you know, experience more peace in your life and go about your life just in more bliss and harmony, if you're not constantly critiquing yourself, you know,
you have a lot more fun too.
Yeah. You've gone through some tough things. And so those are kind of the key highlights to your book. You said you just got done talking to a publisher about all this.
And then part 3 would just be, you know, turning 40 and losing my career and trying to figure out what lights me up and brings me joy after that.
And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
To bring everyone up to date. And we were just talking about how, like what lights you up now is that personal growth aspect of like just growing yourself and
myself and helping other people do that too. Like we were in St. Bart's for vacation, just kind of like a girlfriend of mine and myself turned 40, so it was kind of a big vacation to turn 40, and both our husbands turned 40 in May, or not 40, but had birthdays in May as well, so it was kind of like this big birthday trip. And our last day there, just, you know, dancing and minding my own business on Nikki Beach and enjoying the water and the good food. And older woman walked up to me and she's like, I know you didn't notice me, but I just wanted to let you know that me and my daughter watched you. And I want to thank you for being an inspiration for her because she has alopecia too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You never know who's watching. Anywhere without a wig.
Wow.
And she's 17.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're good.
So we should be able to just be ourselves. So I'm glad that I could show her that you could just be you and not worry about.
Right.
It didn't stop me from dancing. It didn't stop me from enjoying the music or the good food or the good company. Like, if I was so, like, you could have so much more fun when you're not putting those inhibitions on yourself.
And I mean, you may have just changed that girl's whole life without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Just by the way you're setting an example and living your own life.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
and I know you have aspirations. You're with your book and potentially getting into public speaking too.
So that's my hope, that I can help people overcome whatever troubles that they're going through.
Right.
Because I've had a gambit.
No, I forget how it's said, but it's like the person you used to be or the struggles that you have overcome. That's the perfect person for you to help.
Yeah.
Because you've been in their shoes, you've gone through that. You know exactly what they're thinking, what's on their mind, and you can help them through that. So,
or the things we tell ourselves that aren't true in those moments too.
Yeah, I've gone through, a lot of my own personal journeys and struggles too. And it is crazy how you can get in your own head and just think things that aren't true and have fears and doubts and all this, you think there's judgment. And man, when you can shed all that weight, it's like this anchor you're pulling behind you. It's like you can't even really get going because you're pulling all this, weight behind you. And when you can just get rid of it, you can move a lot faster, breathe, help a lot more people, be lighter on your feet, be funner to be around. Yeah.
Well, then you get mad at yourself. Like, why didn't I do this earlier?
Right? There's a lot of things like that in life. Yeah. But hey, at least you're like, I'm here now. Right.
It
takes time.
And you got to go through those moments too, to learn how to be who you are now. Right.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
If you didn't go through that, you wouldn't have the same perspective.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. That adversity ends up being, a great teaching moment for you, helps you grow.
Doesn't change you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, as we wrap up here, is there, for listeners, is there anywhere where people can follow your journey, learn from what you've gone through? Do you have a social media page, website?
You can find me on Instagram at Dr. J.M. Graeme, Graeme or just at Dr. J.M. Graeme, I guess.
Okay.
I always want to add the email.
And I'll definitely tag you when this goes live and when the episode is out, and we'll create some social content there so people can follow you. But yeah, anything else? Any last minute thoughts that you want to leave, the listeners with?
I think I've laid a lot out there.
You have.
But thank you if anybody has any, like, they have stories or they need someone to listen to, or they just, want advice, I'm always open to questions and concerns, or I'm an open book. So
I can tell. Yeah.
I don't try to hide anything. And if I could help anybody, just instant message me.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, taking the time to come out here. And you've gone through a lot, and thanks for all that work you put in at OHSU. I know you at times can think it's like a waste, but I don't think so. There's a lot of seeds that have been planted. And like you said, a lot of doctors' minds that have been changed by you, and just elevating the profession.
Thank you for that.
And just being a bright, beautiful gal and letting the world know, hey, we all have our struggles or things maybe that we're uncomfortable with, but just embrace it and run with it.
I think we need a lot more kindness in the world, and so we all need the more kindness we can give to each other and help, each other out. What they say is high tides raise all boats, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Always here to help.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Jordan.
Right. And thank you.
Thanks for coming on.